Hey, hi. Hello everyone. I'm Naval Yamal. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Data Master and welcome to the new playlist on Databricks for everyone in 2025. So in the previous video, I discussed about what Databricks is. I discussed about my new playlist and the summary was like there are three ways how we can start setting up your Databricks account. So one is your Express account, second is by using your existing cloud account, and the third one is the Databricks Community Edition. So I'll be logging into the Databricks Community Edition. If you already have an account, well and good. If you do not have an account, let me show you how you can sign up for the Databricks Community Edition. So once you go to the Databricks account, you can just click on Try Databricks, and the moment you click on Try Databricks, it will take you to the new page. If you are a beginner for the Databricks, I recommend you to switch to the Community Edition, and you can sign up for this, do some practice, do some hands-on, get familiar with the Databricks UI, and then you can switch it to the either Express or the existing cloud account steps. So let me switch on to the Databricks Community Edition by just clicking on this. I already have a couple of Databricks Community Edition accounts. Now I'm going to just show you how to sign up for it. I have a sample demo email address. I'll just enter that and I'll just click on continue with an email. So I'll quickly get an verification code. I'll go back to my Gmail to pull out that. Yeah, so I'll just paste that email notification, or you can say OTP kind of thing. And once you signed up, so sometimes you'll get this weird puzzle. You need to solve this puzzle, guys. If you are lucky, you don't get this puzzle. If you are not, you'll get this and you have to solve it. So let me look into this. Uh, oh, cool. So I think this is easy now. Let me solve this. Yeah, I was able to solve the puzzle quickly. And here we go. So we get a community edition account. We can continue from here. Just click onto this and you get a verification code. Let me verify this again. Beautiful. Here we go. So this is your Databricks Community Edition. This is how your Databricks Community Edition workspace looks like. Okay. So you don't need any cloud account. You don't need to worry about signing up using your debit card, credit card, nothing. It's absolutely free, but obviously you get very less features as compared to the premium account. We will be creating a premium account as well, but now for a beginners to get started with the community, to get started with the Databricks, I recommend signing up for this community edition. Look at the workspace, look at the UI. So you will find the similar things in your premium account as well. So they are giving you a message like you can upgrade it to the premium one by using this. I'll just cancel this and let me explore you to the UI here. You can see on the left side you have all the tabs here, starting with new tab. If you click on it, you can create a new notebook. You can create a new experiment. You can add some data here, and there are a few options like creating a compute or a cluster from here as well. And if you just go down, we have an option called workspace, and in the workspace you will find a user and you have the username, so which with which login ID or email address you have logged in or you have signed up, you'll get a same user ID here. And you can see there are two tabs getting splitted. One is workspace. In the workspace you have shared and the users. And if you are working on the premium account, where we will be calling it as a collaborative environment, or it's an interactive environment, you can collaborate. You get only one workspace with your teammates. You can work together with your teammates. Yeah, that this tab will be useful. This tab will be helpful. Like you will find out all your users and all your teammates on the same platform. Okay, so you can switch it between that. Now I am on the right side here. I clicked on the right side. I'm on my own user. You can see that in this folder, you can start creating a new folder. You can start creating a new notebook. If you are comparing this with a premium account, there are a lot of other features there. You can create a new query, new dashboard, and couple of things. When it comes to community edition, we do not get an option called serverless, or we do not get an option called Databricks SQL, and few things on the machine learning also that are disabled because we are not paying anything to this. It's not a dedicated workspace or an instance for us. It's absolutely free. So that's the reason why you don't get these all features, but you get a notebook, you can start writing the code, you can spin the compute, all purpose compute, and so on. Okay. So now I'll switch to the same. I'll create a folder, and here I'll just write it a new folder name called Databricks for everyone. Okay. Everyone. Now I'll be creating a notebooks in this community edition, and I'll also explain you how to import and export the notebook. So whatever notebooks we are creating for few videos, we'll work on the community edition. Once we get familiar with this, we'll either switch to the Express account or the cloud account, where I'll be importing all this notebook there. And you will find all my notebook in the Git, also in my Git. I'll leave the link of my GitHub into this video. You can check that later on. So I have mentioned a playlist name, or you can say the folder name called Databricks for everyone. Now I'll create a notebook here. So you can create a notebook. You can right click on it. You can click on this. You can create a notebook. Couple of ways. Simple. Click on this and you can see you can create a new notebook from here. I'll just click on notebook, and this will be our first notebook. And I'll just write getting started with Databricks. Okay, getting started with Databricks. Now I'll just have a quick walkthrough onto this Databricks notebook. People who are already familiar writing the code in Databricks, or maybe in other platforms like Jupyter Notebook or VS Code or Google Colab, it looks very similar. Yes, it is very similar to any Python's interpreter like Jupyter Notebook and so on. But there are many advanced capabilities and advanced features that Databricks gives you. For example, you can switch it to different languages in the same notebook. So my default language in this is Python. You can see at the top, but you can use these four major programming languages in the Databricks notebook. So you have decided to write Python code, but just in case if you want to switch it, you can switch it by using a magic command. These all languages are allowed, maybe SQL, Scala, and R, and so on. You can just switch it from here as well. So we have few cells where you can start writing the code. These are cells. You can see you can get a new line by just hitting onto this plus button. You can code it in this way. Or you want to mark down, if you want to say that I'll add some text. Yeah, you can use this text as well. Just click on text and you can see you can put some titles here. You can mention, and you can insert an images as well, some links, and you can create your text as a bold, italic, and so on. You can add some headers as well. So I'll just show you a demo like how we can add the title. For example, I'll just say I'll put one hash and I'll say that Databricks was called as a Databricks unified platform. Uh, Databricks was called as a Spark unified platform. Unified platform. We have seen that in the previous video. If you haven't watched, I request you to please go back and watch that. Databricks later on called as a Databricks Lakehouse platform. Lakehouse platform. And now Databricks is simply called as a Databricks Data Intelligence Platform. Okay. Databricks Data Intelligence Platform. Okay. Intelligence Platform. Okay. Platform. Now you can see in this way we can create a titles. So this is just to show you an example. You can change the font size by just switching it to or adding more ash here. If you add more ash, the font size will decrease. Okay. So this is how a notebook, you can create a markdown, you can write a Python script here, you can switch between the languages by using the magic command. For example, my default notebook is of Python, you can see at the top, but you can switch it from Python to SQL by adding a magic command. You can just write simple person SQL. And while I'm doing it, I want you to keep an eye on this. So this cell is Python now, but the moment I write %SQL, this will accept only the SQL commands. So this is a beautiful feature of the Databricks notebook, and you don't see this in any other notebooks where you can switch it from Python to SQL, SQL to Scala and R. All major languages are possible here. We have different tabs here like file, edit, view, and so on, and you can explore them very easy, and you can see the table of content. Like when we keep on writing the code, we'll mention the title names, we mention the cell names. That will be helpful for us to figure out by using this table of content. Now you don't need to go back to the workspace every time. If you want to go to the major, I mean, if you want to go to the folder level and then create a notebooks, you can do it by using this icon within the notebook itself, workspace. You can create a new notebook from here, create a new notebook. You can play with this notebook, you can move it, you can clone it, and so on. And we have something called catalog. So now I would like to simply say that catalog is just uh, like a database where we store all your tables, views, functions, and so on. But I'll explore in detail about what is catalog. At the first level, we have a catalog, and then we have a schemas and so on. We will see them once we get a Express account. But in the community edition, we have something called Hive Metastore. But now Hive Metastore is a deprecated one. It's a legacy one. We'll move towards the latest one called Unity Catalogs cataloging. So we'll be using that cataloging. So I'll switch to the previous one here. Yeah, I talked about the workspace where I created a folder and the notebook. So recent, as the name itself indicates, whatever the recent notebooks you have opened it, you can figure out from here. Search is very powerful. If you want to search something from your workspace, this button, this icon will help you. As I mentioned, catalog is like the place where you store all your tables, all your objects, real time physical objects. Yeah, that is catalog. uh, when you are comparing this with our premium account, the features in the premium account are like superior, and there are so many things. In community edition you don't get that, because it's again just a platform where you can explore Databricks, where you can get started with the Databricks, so you don't get these all features here. Okay, we have something called workflows, and workflows is for automation. If you have built maybe a ETL project and you want to automate it, we use workflows. Workflows are not a part of community edition. You have to upgrade your account. You have to either go with the premium account or the standard account. But in community edition, you don't get that feature. We will see them once we have an Express account or a cloud account. Coming to the next part, we have a compute. So in the next video, I'll discuss in detail about types of computes in Databricks. Like we have all-purpose compute and job compute. But a quick note: so all-purpose compute is is used for your development, and all job compute is used for your automation. And we cannot create a job compute because job compute has to be created by using the workflows, and workflows is not a part of the community edition. So we are not touching much on the job compute, but yes, you can create a all-purpose compute basically for development. So you can start creating it by just hitting on to create compute, and the moment you hit on create compute, you can see you can give a name for your compute in this way. You can set up a name. For example, this is our data master compute, for example. And if you just scroll down, you have a option called Databricks runtime version. You don't have much options here. That's only one option called Databricks runtime version. But we have other couple of things when it comes to compute, like how many executors do you need, how many drivers you need, how many workers you need, and in each executor, how many cores do you need. So that's all available in the premium. When we switch, I'll explain that. Now I'll choose the Databricks runtime version. When you switch to the Databricks runtime version, there are two options. One is standard and second is machine learning. So if your workload is more onto data engineering, data analytics, you can use a standard runtime version. So it simply means that you are getting a compute in that all are pre-installed. So you don't need to worry about installing Spark, creating a Spark session, or For running a Spark, you need Hadoop, Java, and everything. You don't need to worry anything. Databricks will take care of that. So if your use case is more onto data engineering, data analytics, you can use a standard runtime version. If your use case is more onto machine learning, I want to run an experiment, I want to do some prediction, forecasting, use a ML flow, use libraries like PyTorch, PySpark machine learning, or XeBoost, and so on, then you can use the machine learning runtime version. And in the community edition, yeah, you can switch it between these two as well. So first we'll go with the data engineering one. So I'll switch to the standard. And the latest feature is 15.4, a runtime version, which has Spark's latest 3.5, and we have Scala 2.12 in that. And when it's LTS, that is 15.4 LTS, it means a long-term support. This version has a good support, and it's for 2 years. 2 years. If you are using a versions that do not have a LTS, the support validity would be for 6 months. Okay, so we recommend using LTS, which has a 2 year support, and after 2 years, you can switch it to the other versions. Now I'll switch to 15.4. So our compute would be ready with Databricks runtime version 15.4. If you're asking me like what would be the configuration of this compute, so let me tell you, we get 15 GB memory in it with two cores. If you want to upgrade it, no, there's no chance upgrading it in the community edition, but obviously we can go to the premium one. So we can just start creating it. And if your all purpose compute in the Databricks Community Edition is ideal for 1 or 2 hours, automatically it's get terminated. And remember, in Community Edition, you cannot restart that compute again because it's not dedicated. Okay, it's just pinned off and you can do some practice. And once the work is done, you can terminate it, or it automatically gets terminated in 1 or 2 hours. Next time, if you are practicing it, you have to start at a new compute. But that's not true in the case of premium account. In premium account, once you create the compute, your compute stays on. You can start it, stop it whenever you want. Okay. So now I have started the compute. You can see here, we will be getting a all-purpose compute in couple of minutes. This will take a long 4 to 5 minutes to spin the compute. And why do we need a compute? So for beginners, I'm going to tell you this. See, we have a notebook now. I want to write some code in that. As you remember, I have created a notebook here and I want to start writing something here. I want to start coding here. Suppose I'll write a Python script like print hello, for example. Now I want to run this. To run this, you need a compute. You need a compute. Without compute, you cannot run anything. So that's the reason why I have started the all-purpose compute. Now, the professionals, those who are coming, they might say that, oh, this is taking a long time now, 3-4 minutes. Can we reduce this? Yeah, we can reduce it. Databricks has got a new feature called serverless. With serverless, your compute spins just in couple of seconds. In 3 to 4 seconds, your compute is on and you can attach that to a notebook and you can start working on it. But that's only available in the premium account, not in the community edition. Okay. So we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Let the compute starts and then I'll jump onto the notebook where I'll start writing some Python scripts and the SQL scripts. Hey, cool. You can see here my compute is up and running now. You can find out by using this green tick. It says that the state is up, and you can see there are 2 active cores in it. Let me go back to my notebook and oh, I'll try to change it. Yeah, it took almost 5 to 6 minutes to start it. So now in my notebook, now you can see the default notebook is Python. I'll just go to my connect. I'm going to connect this notebook to the compute. Compute name is data master. In our case, it's up and running. I'll connect it and I'll try to run this. So for the first time, it takes few seconds, additional seconds, but once it attached, then we can run it faster. Okay. So this is a simple Python command now. Yeah, cool. It's done now. And the moment you execute it, if you just hover your cursor, it shows you that how many seconds it took, at what date and time stamp it was executed, on which compute, and the name also. Now I can use this same notebook and I can switch it between the languages by using person SQL. Now it takes the SQL commands and I can simply write select run SQL, and I'll try to run this, and it takes or it accepts all the SQL commands. So whether you are a Python enthusiastic or you are a SQL person, I want you to do some hands-on on this the same notebook. You can write all your Python notebook, Python scripts here. You can use create a list, you can create a dictionary, you can create a function, you can play with that. Or if you're comfortable in SQL, yeah, I want you to play with SQL. You can create a database, you can create a table, you can insert it, and you can play around it. You can select after inserting some records, you can select it, use a where clause, and so on. So behind the scene, if you are using Python or SQL, the engine is same. It's a Spark engine. So we will be exploring about that Spark engine. So we will start with PySpark data frame, and we are going to start working on the data engineering ETL part using PySpark. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like the content, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Thank you. Keep learning. Bye bye.